Hello everyone, breaking down the 8-game NBA slate for Monday. Again, we have one of these where the first game is going to be at 4 p.m. with an hour gap, so if there's any late news, kind of have to be able to set up our lineup so that we do have the most flexibility to late swap. First game, I do expect to have some plays though, especially from the Houston side with DeMarcus Cousins. 7,100 again, Christian Wood being out, Cousins is still too cheap. He should be like 8K, and he's in a spot where Charlotte's on a back-to-back, and they're just one of those teams that don't handle the center position well. They don't rebound well. There's going to be a lot of usage for Cousins, a lot more minutes with Wood out. Wall and Oliva will both be playing, so yeah, they're going to be guards that will also take up a lot of shots, but Cousins is also just a usage monster himself, so I don't see any problem with that. Cousins, he just has monster upside. Like, we usually won't see like a 35-point game. Like, that's pretty much like a floor game really for Cousins if he's going to get 30 minutes. So I really like him. And everyone else, Oladipo's minutes are better than Wall, but 8,100, yeah, it's a little bit expensive matchup. Yeah, it's not bad, but just the price is kind of up there for me. Charlotte's side, Devontae Graham, we don't know if he was just resting on the first end of the back-to-back or not. If he's going to play, then it's just going to make all these guys not so great plays. I think PJ Washington looks pretty good, though. He wasn't on minutes limit Sunday. 5,700 still very affordable for him. And then if Graham's going to be out, then Rozier still looks pretty good at 6,300. Now he's pretty shot dependent, so to shoot well 2 games in a row, that's something that's difficult. He is a pretty low percentage shooter, but Houston defense, yeah, they've been pretty good actually against opponents after the Harden trade. So Charlotte's going to have to wait and see about Graham. Now Washington and Chicago, this is going to be a really good game. Westbrook, there's a chance that he can actually play this time. Don't know if he's going to be a limit if he is good to go. If he's not, then yeah, I'm going to like Westbrook 8,600. This is just too cheap. He should be above 9K. And Chicago, they're just a very good matchup for anyone. Now Washington also, they're a very good matchup. Probably the best matchup. So this is just a very appealing game. No defense should be played. Very high scoring. And if Westbrook is in, I still like Beal. If Westbrook's out, then yeah, Beal's going to be a core play. And everyone else, if Westbrook's out, Ish Smith, Raul Neto. Neto has been starting. Ish Smith started last time when Westbrook was out, but that was because Neto was out. So we don't know who would start now. Bertans at 4,200, just someone that, sooner or later he's going to have a big game. He's very shot dependent. He will get, a few rebounds in there. Not going to do a whole lot else, but again, this game, high scoring affair. Bertans at 4,200, there's definitely upside at that price. Now, Chicago side, Zach LaVine 8,900 looks pretty good. We've seen him above 9K. He's at 8,900 in one of the best matchups that he can be in. So I really like that. Kobe White 6,400. He also has a lot of upside. He hasn't shown it, but again, the Wizards, they basically let anybody have a good game. So I do have interest in Kobe White. He shouldn't be too popular either. Laurie is doubtful, so Patrick Williams, Otto Porter being out, Denzel Valentine, Garrett Temple, Satoransky, all of them are going to see bumps. Valentine had the big game last time, but he probably wouldn't have seen 36 minutes because of blowout. I probably prefer Patrick Williams here for $300 more. I think his production is a little bit more sustainable. Temple, Sato, rather go with them because you do save a little bit of money. I know Valentine starts, but yeah, I just don't really feel great about someone who just has a track record of not being that good of a player. And if he's going to be chalky at 4,800, like, that's not really cheap. So yeah, I don't really want to play Denzel. Toronto side, still the main 3 guys. VanVleet at 8,500. I'm not going to be too interested in. I think Siakam and Lowry both look good. I prefer Lowry here a little bit just because he's coming off a poor game. So, when it's because of poor shooting, I usually like to play them next game because that just makes people not want to play them. But you can't have good shooting games every time. So I do have Lowry, and also he's the cheaper of the 3. Now, Chris Boucher, 5,400. There's no Brandon Clark, so it, I would say, actually hurts Boucher's minutes. Joval, he's a little bit, not a little bit, he's way bigger than Boucher, so I would expect him to have Aaron Baines in there. But Gorgeous Zhang also is someone who's really big, so Baines makes more sense in this matchup, but I also thought that Capella would have been on the court more, so Boucher actually got a lot of minutes last time. he didn't come off the court in the second half when he got in. So yeah, Boucher is just gonna be always like a boom or bust play, tournament only. And then for the Memphis side, Joel being back, his minutes probably aren't going to be that high. He's very productive though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like 40 plus. But I just prefer Cousins right now. John Morant's 500. He's one of the rare Memphis guys that can get like over 32 minutes or something. So yeah, he definitely has upside, but he's not like really that cheap because of the minutes right now. And everyone else with Joel back, Morant healthy, they're just not going to look that great. Like Melton being out, but Bane, Grayson Allen's back, so there's just not really a whole lot. They just split a lot of the minutes. Now, the Minnesota side, D'Angelo Russell questionable, so I expect him to play. If he's in, I do have some interest, 7,300. He has upside, but the minutes haven't been that great, so it's like I'm not going to have as much interest as I usually had. Now, Malik Beasley, Anthony Edwards, their prices are coming up, so it's tough to get to them. Rubio also more expensive. Niles Reed, 6K. Cat is doubtful, so he should still start. He's very productive, but his minutes, they're not like that high either, and 6K, it's not like really cheap. So Minnesota doesn't look too great right now. Now, Dallas side, there's definitely some blowout risk here. So I don't think Luka's going to be my pay up because I think Giannis is in a better spot. Porzingis, 8,400, kind of too expensive for me. Other guys, like, they're just paying up the leftover usage. Like, they're cheap, but, like, I just don't really feel comfortable with any of them. Now, the Golden State side, they're still going to be pretty short-handed. Pascal, we don't know if he's playing or not, so it might be another big minutes game for Draymond and Toscano Anderson, but their prices are a little bit higher now. Draymond, like, we can't expect him to have a crazy steals and blocks game again. He can make up for it by scoring the ball more, but 6,800 is not that great of a price tag. Like, I'll maybe play some of them because if Pascal is out, then yeah, he still has to play big minutes. Spurs, they're not the same defensive team as they once were. They don't play that slow. Steph at 10.3, that's kind of expensive. So, yeah, for this side, I don't think I'm really too interested in Golden State. The Spurs side, a little bit more interested because of the injuries, Aldridge, Lonnie. So I think DeRozan still looks really good. DeJounte, Pearl, not so much because of just other centers, opportunity cost. Keldon Johnson has tournament appeal, 5,800. He has 44 upside, so at any point, he definitely have a big game. Derek White, he started last night for Lonnie, and he was playing a lot with DeJounte, so his minutes feel a little bit safer. Another game under his belt. Probably can see over 30 minutes now, so 5,100, I do feel like that is a little bit cheap. Now, everyone else, Rudy Gay, he can definitely play some small ball center because Golden State just doesn't have size right now. So he can definitely get some more minutes here. Patty Mills, 4,200 without Lonnie Walker. He definitely has a bit of a role. So for value, if you need to, Mills. But I prefer White because he just has more upside. Now the Cavs, they're now without Larry Nance too. So Taurean Prince should start. So he looks like a pretty good value play at only 4,300. Everyone else, Drummond, 8,200, he has upside, but again, it's always going to be the minutes. Jared Allen, they're really splitting the minutes. Like, it's not like set who's going to play how much. Foul trouble, there's just a lot of different factors. Sexton, Garland, they're okay, but Phoenix, they have a pretty solid defense. They also play slow. Okoro for value, I guess, but Prince is definitely the better value play. And then Phoenix side, they're on a back-to-back, but they really haven't been resting guys, so Chris Paul, Booker, Aim, they all look fine. I would say that Aim maybe looks the best, 6,900 because of just the discount, and he definitely has similar upside to these guys. I'd say Booker has the bigger upside, but with Chris Paul on the team this year, he really hasn't had like crazy good games. I know he had one on Sunday, but back-to-back Cleveland, I don't really feel like that great about Booker having another game. I probably want to spend elsewhere at the shooting guard position. And then I guess Frank Kaminsky, if he's going to start again, which I think is possible, 4,300, but his minutes haven't been that great. So I think, again, I prefer Prince for the same price. And then Milwaukee and Denver, this is a pretty good game. I think this game should stay close. Hopefully Jamal Murray can play. Hopefully Denver has a little bit more depth. Giannis, in close games, he gets a lot of minutes, as long as he's not in foul trouble. So I'm going to always have interest when it's a close game. So that's why Giannis is going to be a pretty good play, I would say. Going to probably have a good bit of him. Now, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, they look great as well. Middleton now has shooting guard and small forward eligibility, and he's also under 8K. And anytime, again, close game, under 8K for Middleton, I do like him quite a bit. If you can't get to Giannis, I think you can get to Middleton. Now, Brook Lopez, 4,800. He's probably going to play bigger minutes than we're used to seeing because of his defense needed to go up against Nikola Jokic. So I think this is a spot where he can get like 32 minutes. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, 4,800, I do think that is a pretty good price tag for him. Probably not going to be high owned either. So I think he's had some sneaky appeal. Same price as someone like Denzel Valentine. So I think there's definitely like a pivot you can make. They're in position, but I think Brook has some upside in the spot. Now, the Denver side, if Murray is out, then Jokic, like he's probably going to be a core play then, probably going to be high owned too. But I mean, 11.1K, tough match against the Bucks, but he's pretty much unguardable. So, like, if Murray is out, just the usage is all going to go to him. Now, Michael Porter Jr., he started last time. We don't know if he's going to start again because they did start JaMychal Green when they played the Lakers with injuries, and they started him because of LeBron. So, because of Giannis, maybe they start Green to guard Giannis. But right now, I would say Porter can start again. 6,100, a team that allows a lot of three-point attempts. Porter just didn't shoot the ball well. And he rebounds really well as well for a forward. Yes, he's 6'10", and he's not afraid to shoot. You see this guy play, he just catches the ball, he's going up for the shot. So I think Porter has big-time upside at 6,100. If it's going to be a close game, Jokic can't do it all by himself. So I do think Porter is the most likely guy to step up if Murray is out. Will Barn, I like him as well, but I think Porter just is the better play at only a $600 increase or more. And Monte Morris, JaMychal Green, Paul Millsap, they're all okay, but Morris at 5,100, he's basically priced for Murray to be out. If he's out, then sure, Monte, he can still get there at that price because he's a pretty productive, sure-handed point guard. But yeah, the price is really close. Like for 1,000 more, you can get to Porter, who has 50-point upside. So I don't think Morris has that. I'd just rather go to MPJ. And then RJ Hampton, 3,600. He got big minutes. Also need to monitor Campazzo if he's going to be in. Hampton, he rebounded really well. He's a big guard, but I just don't expect to see him get 10 boards again, especially against the Bucks. Now, the OKC side, looks like they're only going to have 8 players, and it's tough because the Lakers are a very good defensive team, and they just don't have bodies. So even a blowout, they're going to have to play 3 starters in the blowout run. So you can't really worry about that. SGA, he obviously is going to get the most usage. There's no Maladon, there's no Hill, so the ball's just in his hands. But AK, going to see a lot of good defenders, KCP, Caruso, everyone. So it's tough to get to SGA knowing that it's a tough matchup. Horford, 1,600, there's pretty much no size, but if it's a blowout, he's definitely not going to be on the court. And AD, Gasol, it's just a tough matchup for him. Diallo, 6K, like SGA in, it just hurts the usage for everyone else. I'd say maybe Baisley is the most intriguing, but his minutes last time, even though he was in, he only got 26. So maybe that back injury was limiting him. Lou Dort, 4,800, he's just not that productive. Like, he'll play big minutes, but he's defensive minded. He needs to knock down his threes. Kevin Williams, Justin Jackson, just not productive players. Maybe Darius Miller, because there should be down to 8 players. He has to play more than like the teens, and he's the minimum. So maybe Miller you can use as a value play, but right now it's weird because they only have 8 players, so they need to really play. But the prices, like, they're not that cheap. So for right now, unless the slate changes, I don't think I can include anyone in the core. And then the Lakers side, AD, he's listed with an Achilles injury, questionable now. It's a new injury, so maybe he misses because it is a weaker opponent. He's rested on some of these weaker opponent games. If he's out, then LeBron at 2.5K, like, it doesn't feel like a core play. Schroeder's going to look good. Harrell, Kuz, if Markieff Morris were to start, like, all these guys, they could make some sense if AD is out. So for right now, the core, DeMarcus Cousins is going to be the center play. And then this game, one of the better game environments, I'm going to plug in Beal and Levine. I'll update if Westbrook is going to be in. And I think we look to Derek White here for the Spurs game. And then I'm going to put in Michael Porter Jr. here. So that's going to be the core 5. I know that's, salary's not a lot that I left you guys, but you can play like Darius Miller, Taurean Prince, Satoransky. So there's definitely value guys that can make this work. So again, that's going to be the core 5. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit like before you go. You can ask me anything on Twitter. You can comment down below in the video. I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. So good luck on the slate. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.